Hey, we're recording. All right. This is Lucas Faust with Faust Law Office. I'm here with Callie. Am I saying your last name correctly? Rieger?
Rieger.
Rieger, with
Yes.
Callie Rieger. Callie teaches kindergarten at Saddle Peak Elementary in Belgrade. Callie, thank you for agreeing to be our teacher of the month this month. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Where did you grow up? Tell us.
I'm from here. Technically, I was born in California, but don't hold it against me. I only lived there 3 years, and then my family moved up here. And I grew up in the Belgrade area, went to all the Belgrade schools. And then my husband got a teaching job when we were not married yet, got a teaching job in Anaconda. And so then I finished my student teaching, and we taught there for 9 years. And then we've been back here this is my 4th year back in Belgrade. So.
Oh, that's great. So you went K through 12 as a Belgrade Panther all the way through. Is that right?
Almost. Middle school, I took off. I went to Heritage Christian in Bozeman. So I was still in the area, but 6th through 8th grade. But then I came back for high school. So.
Oh, well, good. Good. How is it like being back in your hometown teaching kindergarten?
It's nice. It's really nice to be around family, and it's wild because it's changed so much. Like, we would come back and visit, over those 9 years, but it's completely different than when I grew up here. So,
so you were in Anaconda for 9 years, and your husband, does he still teach?
Yes, he is the librarian and teaches yearbook over in Manhattan. So.
Oh, that's great. So, and how long has he been in Manhattan since you moved back?
Yeah, 4 years. This is his 4th year.
Great. Well, good. Well, good. Now, let me ask this of you. Is there a teacher that you grew up with that you credit for leading you into this profession?
I have a teacher who kind of inspired, or like a teacher that was very memorable, I guess. But a job in college was kind of what inspired me to become a teacher. But my teacher, Mr. Spady, he was my 6th grade teacher, and he was amazing. I had some trouble in intermediate school, and so that's kind of why I went to that private school for a couple of years, and he was my first teacher in the private school, and he was just amazing and kind of pulled me out of my funk. So he's my most memorable teacher. But what actually inspired me to become a teacher was I worked for Reach in college in Bozeman, and so that's for adults with disabilities, and I just had heard a lot of their stories. Initially, I was a special ed teacher, and this is only my 2nd year actually teaching kindergarten in a regular ed setting. So I've been a special ed teacher all my other years of teaching. And they just had like really rough educations, and it was very sad. They were very secluded, and just because it was, a long time ago. And so we've grown a lot as an education realm since then, but that kind of inspired me to be like, I don't want kids to be treated like that anymore. So,
but tell us about the first time you taught someone how to read. Tell us about that.
Oh, geez. Okay. I think that's why I love kindergarten so much. I taught preschool in Anaconda, and it was just so cool to see like this age group they grow so much when you first get them. And so, the first couple months of school are just magical because you see kids who haven't had any exposure to school, and they come in, and it's just magical to see all the things that they're soaking up because they're little sponges. And so, I was just talking to a parent about this recently. We had a student come in just a couple weeks ago, and she hadn't been in school the whole first part of the year. And this is the time of year where we're kind of all dragging and, having a hard time because it's that time of year, And so it was perfect timing for her to come in because I got to see all the magical kindergarten stuff I see at the beginning of the year, but I saw it at a time where I really needed it. So yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. What do you like most about teaching kindergarten?
I think their sense of humor, because you just hear the funniest things throughout the day. And they still love you. They'll come give you hugs, even if you had to put on your teacher voice a little bit, and then they'll come give you a hug and be like, I love you,
Oh, that's great. Well, good. So, okay, they're very important. They are important. Your faith, family, just setting those aside, even your teaching, setting that aside as well. What's the passion in your life, Callie? What gets you out of bed in the morning that you would do if you didn't teach?
Honestly, up until like a couple of years ago, hadn't really thought about it. I was just like, I'll be a teacher forever. I don't really know what I would do if I didn't teach, but I think just like getting up and living every day to, the the best it can be, just thinking about like, how can I make this day the best it can be, regardless of what I'm doing or what I'm going through. I don't know. That's kind of a cheesy answer, but
Well, let me ask you this. If you weren't a teacher, what do you think you'd do for work?
I love to bake. So I think,
Good.
I don't know if like the actual job of a baker would be like what I'd want to do, but if I could just bake all day and, you know, have millions of dollars, I guess.
What's your
I do
favorite
love
thing to bake? Are you a cookie person? Do you do fancy stuff? What do you do?
As far as like eating them, I would say cookies, but baking them, I like cakes, like baking cakes.
Oh, good. Good. So tell us one thing that you do outside of school that helps promote education in your community.
So this is all like included in school, but it's outside of my school hours, I guess. So I'm part of my building leadership team. And so we meet before school and just kind of talk about different things we want to change in the building and how we can go about that. And then I'm also part of our math curriculum committee. And so we just chose a new math curriculum, and we in kindergarten, we do family nights. So that kind of promotes bringing family in and being part of school versus just like sending their kid off to school.
Well, tell us about family nights. What do you all do? That sounds like quite a chore to add onto your regular activities. Yeah. What do you do?
Yeah, it's a tiring day, but we have a couple throughout the year, and we're talking about maybe adding some more. We do it like an Arctic math family night in January. Well, we did in February this year, I guess, but usually January, February, where the families just come together, and we've got little stations that they go through, and they just come as a family. They get to meet other families. And so it's just for kindergarten, so it's not too overwhelming. And they come do something academic usually. So we did a math family night. There was a science one for Halloween, around Halloween time. And so it's fun to see that other families interacting, like families that maybe wouldn't get to know each other because they're in different classes or things. So,
oh, that's great. Great.
yeah.
So tell us something about yourself that would probably surprise your students.
I
have to throw a tricky one.
Here we go. I was trying to figure out. I was born with hip dysplasia. And so I was in like a full body cast until I was a little over 2, because I had a bunch of surgeries. And so I wasn't actually supposed to walk. They didn't think, and so but I learned how to walk in my cast and ran track and did all sorts of things. So
let's kind of go over that. You just kind of brushed over like it's no big deal. You are Superwoman. So you were born with hip dysplasia, and didn't walk at all as a little kid.
Yes.
And then you did. How do you think that affected you?
I think it just kind of, I don't know. I tell people about it and they're just kind of like, wow, you did that. So I think it was just kind of made it so that no matter what I'm going through, I'm kind of just moving forward and pushing on, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, that's great. And you can empathize with folks who do have a physical disability, because you had one for a long time. Absolutely. Yeah. That's great. So you even ran track. What did you run in track? What event did you do?
I was technically a thrower, so I didn't really run, but we had to run every day. So I was part of the running of track, but I did shot put and discus.
Oh, that's great. Well, good. Yeah. Well, good. Callie, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And thank you for all you do for the kids in Belgrade and making their place, the world, a little bit better place. Thanks for your time, Callie.
Thank you. And thank you for your donation. That's so awesome. I think we might use it for a field trip, which will be kind of fun.
Hey, let's see what we can do. I'll send those over. Thank you so much, Callie.
Thank you.
Hold on. You're not going to leave me yet. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to stop recording.